Yeah, I mean, I have a philosophy that if you're good enough, you're old enough, and age shouldn't be a barrier to representing at the highest level. I've been here for 4 months. I've had a chance now to watch a lot of young players live, and realistically, that's what I'm looking for. But at the same time, there are diaspora players. Well, young diaspora players. We have a player in Germany. We have 2 players in Germany that we are working with. We have 2 players in the Netherlands we are working with. We have a player in Australia. We have a player in the US that we would like to see progress to the national team, the diaspora pool, because there's no guarantee that those players are going to get selected just because they operate in leagues outside of Indonesia. I want a blend of people who want to die for this country. So for me, I'm really conscious that I have a responsibility to help that happen and to make that happen.
Halo Sobat Antara, hari ini saya Fajar Satrio, jurnalis Antara. Di sini, di samping saya, ada seorang yang sangat spesial. Perkenalkan, John Herdman, pelatih tim nasional Indonesia. How are you, Coach?
Kabar baik.
So, we form a question, right? We know you are very talented coach to produce many young player like Alfonso Davies, Jonathan David. So, what do you think about regenerational in Indonesian team right now?
Yeah, I think it's an exciting generation. I think the most important part of any squad development is understanding where the team can be in 2030, because that's when it's going to matter. That 1.5 year of qualification is the most important period. But what you have to understand is this whole process is dynamic. Players can appear at any time. And this was a big learning in Canada. Tejan Buchanan, for example, who went on to play for Inter Milan, he wasn't on the radar until 2020. He wasn't when I turned up in 2018, even in the thinking. Nobody thought Jonathan David could reach the level he could. So I think, one, you have to accept that this is a dynamic process, but you have to be looking. And you have to see a 15-year-old. You have to speak to Alex Weiss, the technical director, to understand who is in the system that could potentially accelerate. And acceleration is a key word because it's about recognizing players with potential that if we give them international experience, we can springboard their career because they have the profile, the positional competency, the positional qualities that are telling you if we give them this experience, there's a chance they can move to the next level. So while I'm saying the whole squad development is dynamic, it's also by design as well. We need to accelerate these young players to opportunities, like Buffon, a 19-year-old who's playing a lot of minutes for a team like Borneo who are competing at the top of the league. Players like that need the opportunities now to show themselves at a higher level. And as a coach, I have to be committed to that. But at the same time, there are diaspora players. We have players in Germany that were
Kevin Dix.
Well, young diaspora players. We have a player in Germany. We have 2 players in Germany that we are working with. We have 2 players in the Netherlands we are working with. We have a player in Australia. We have a player in the US that we would like to see progress to the national team. So it's this constant balance of young players with potential to be part of the World Cup 2030 campaign, But the potential is, and this is the key question that I have to get the people here to understand, the technical people, we need more tier 1 and tier 2 players playing in the top 5 leagues in the world or players just outside. We have to recognize the potential of those players and give opportunity to players that can move to that level. That's the mission of our technical department here in Indonesia.
So I think you watching Indonesian domestic league, right? And I think Indonesian domestic league is so many products young talent like Kakang, like Alvarez Buffon and Donitri Pamungkas, and you know it's so many talent in Indonesia in football. My question is, will you focus on promoting young player into the national team setup?
Yeah, I mean, I have a philosophy that if you're good enough, you're old enough, and you know, age shouldn't be a barrier to representing at the highest level. I've been here for 4 months. I've had a chance now to watch a lot of young players live, and you know, realistically, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking at that 28 to 36-year-old while they can offer something. I want to really feel this young generation. And you're right to say, you know, Donitri was a good example of the last camp. We felt it was important for a young player to gain that experience, because those young players have a chance to springboard. And for us, I think, as in Indonesia, we need a local talent to break through. We really need a local talent to break through into the top leagues in the world. You know, we've got close with Marcelino.
Yeah.
But we need that, because that is where we break a barrier. And that barrier is to tell every other young player in this country that it's possible. And I experienced this with Alphonso Davies in Canada.
Yeah.
You had a 16-year-old refugee in Canada that moves to Bayern Munich, but not only moves, he plays every game and then wins the quadruple, the Champions League at an 18-year-old. As soon as that happens, every kid in Canada wants to be Alphonso Davies. But what it does is break the barrier that this is possible. So for me, I'm really conscious that I have a responsibility to help that happen and to make that happen. Whether that's Donitri, whether that's Marcelino, whether that's Buffon. There are more players coming through at 17s, at U15s, at U20s, but I am very clear that we need to make this happen. And you can't force it, because talent development it's dynamic. But I know I have a responsibility, and I take that responsibility serious.
So we focus in Asian Cup, yes, because we are in Group D with Japan, Qatar, and Thailand. So, Coach, how do you see the competition in this group?
How do you see the competition?
Oh, it's a group of death.
Group of death. Okay.
yes.
Well, I'm pleased
Because
someone said it.
We know Japan is one of the nation very consistent.
Yeah.
And right now, Qatar with this regeneration, and Thailand, you see, what is your opinion about this group?
Yeah, I think for teams like Japan, Thailand, and Qatar, they're thinking group of death.
Yep.
Because none of those teams wanted Indonesia. Trust me, when you looked at that pot four, the one team you didn't want was Indonesia.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
Yes.
So for every coach, they're thinking the same thing. This isn't just Indonesia thinking, oh my God, group of death. This is every coach thinking, this is the group of death. So with all of that, that's the exciting opportunity for us. We know what we're going into. We are the underdog.
Yep.
And we have nothing but opportunity and new levels to gain. The other teams, Qatar, Japan, they have a lot to lose.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be in the camp where we have a lot to gain and not much to lose.
Yeah.
So, it's a mentality we create, that underdog spirit, and we will take that role and we will aim to overachieve and take the team as far as we possibly can and hopefully to a place it's never been before.
So what is your preparation? Because we have so many times right now to prepare in this competition.
Well, preparation is the reverse engineering. First, I have to understand who the player pool will be. So I have a chance now with the ASEAN Cup to assess the domestic players. I want to make sure that I give young players opportunity in that tournament.
Yeah.
So I know Indonesians want to win AFF, but winning has to be done the right way. We need to expose young potential players that I think could help us for AFC and be part of that group, but also help us for 2030. So one part is AFF, assess the domestic player pool to understand which players can help us for AFC. And then on the other side, it's the June window, which gives us an opportunity against Oman, which is an Middle Eastern country that we need to learn to beat. That's one thing. We need to learn how to beat those teams and dominate those teams. And secondly, to assess the European player pool, the diaspora pool, because there's no guarantee that those players are going to get selected just because they operate in leagues outside of Indonesia. I want a blend of people who want to die for this country, which I think the domestic player brings with, players with the tactical acumen of the diaspora group who are playing in Serie A or Bundesliga. So for me, there's an assessment of both groups. There's finding a way to win and dominate our Middle Eastern teams. And then at AFF, while assessing the players, push to be the first team to deliver a trophy for this country. That's the mentality.
So, FYI, coach, Indonesian media outlet have report that you plan to use collective like brotherhood football. So, I want to ask you, what is your plan about this philosophy football in Indonesia for a long term?
No, I think the philosophy is, if you put right at the heart of what we're trying to achieve here, my definition of high performance is consistent overachievement. So if you want to consistently overachieve, there are two things: a cultural framework and a tactical framework. And the cultural framework comes first.
Yep.
This is about the brotherhood. This is about generating a deep purpose. 280 million reasons why we play. To qualify this country for a World Cup. To be the first group of men.
Yeah.
And to allow the generation of Indonesian fans to experience the biggest event on the planet. That's it. That's at the heart of the culture. That's at the heart of the brotherhood. That's at the heart of every camp we have, to remind every player this is why we come together. And when that why becomes deeply in the hearts of the players, then you can have the tactical framework. And when I talk about the cultural framework and that why, the deep why, you build leadership groups, and those leaders have to connect to this. And the leaders have to espouse it. They have to drive it every day in the behavior, in the habits, off the pitch and on the pitch. And when they drive that behavior, you have a chance of creating the culture which is where people feel trusted, they feel safe, they know we're here for the same reason. We're not here to gain money,
Yep.
fame, Instagram followers. We're here to change a country forever. When people feel that connected to something, then the tactics can work. Because I can give you a tactical framework. I can do this with any team.
Yep.
And say we're playing a 3-box-3 and the identity is aggressive, dynamic, direct. But it doesn't matter under pressure. Under pressure, under fatigue, under circumstances where you're in big moments, it's whether the purpose is strong enough to actually bring the tactics alive. Will people run that extra 5 yards to recover? Will they put their body on the line for their teammate, for their country? Will they go into that tackle where they might get hurt? That's the difference.
Yeah.
And that starts here with the cultural framework, which is brotherhood. Then you can bring the tactics alive. So culture and tactics gives you the chance to overachieve. It's both.
Okay, coach, it's the last question. Thank you for your time and Sobat Antara. Itu saja interview saya dengan pelatih tim nasional Indonesia Herdman. Thank you, coach.
Terima kasih sama-sama.